something in common, and that's why we click as fast as we do when we're becoming friends. I went from not knowing either of you to being pretty good friends with you guys really quick. So I think that we're linked consciously in some type of way. I've also been around long enough, 20 years, to realize that people will act the same on certain occasions. Like, you ever just say the same thing as your friend at the same exact time without
Yeah,
like
dude.
planning it? Yeah,
Or you don't even have to
honestly,
speak, dude. Like you just fucking know what the other dude's thinking.
on God. So I do believe that we're all kind of consciously connected in some way, but we do have our differences.
I feel that. That's good. But like, do you think that it's there's nothing like do you think of yourself as an individual consciousness, or are you thinking of yourself more of like part of a greater being?
Like someone who thinks for you, or
Yeah, let's just say, I mean, knowledge has been passed down, so your thoughts inevitably are someone else's. So that also
yeah,
trips with me in that
yeah,
sense. The idea that everything that you thought or thinking of that has been regurgitated and thought by,
someone else. Yeah.
yeah, for the most part. I mean, we think we have new ideas, but
But then look at the movie industry.
talk about how bad the movie industry is.
No, I'm saying there's been nothing new for over like 100 years, dude.
Oh,
Well, yeah, and like movies are progressively getting more boring as they continue.
they're gonna suck the money out of it.
Dude, I used to be a big horror film fan, like the actual scary shit, like actual shit that made you fucking, as a kid, you'd fucking be paralyzed to walk downstairs when it's dark, some shit. Nowadays, you watch a horror movie and have you guys seen Thanksgiving?
No, nowadays I
No.
don't watch horror movies. How about that? I used to be a
They're
good
just
fan
shit.
of. I used to be a good fan of them. I'd watch all of them,
Yeah,
but I have to go back several decades, and now they're just too corny for me. And
yeah.
but I don't know. I just you're not gonna see fucking. It goes across for all genres and everything in all of life. But yeah, so back to the premise here. What the fuck would you have to say, Mister Jared? I'm gonna get your
Well,
mind working. Look at that yawn.
yo, he's yawning? Yo, it's
Yo,
only like
I thought you
8:15 in
grabbed
the
an
morning.
energy drink, dude. Chug, chug,
I should
chug.
have grabbed on.
Fucking.
that's why I had to grab the monster. The fucking incinerator makes me sleepy. But anyway, conscious mind, I feel like is based on a wavelength. I feel like there's a certain tone that literally everybody answers to.
Hmm.
Um,
Can I stop you right there and expand on this thought?
yeah.
Tone. All right. So I like to think of our brains, where you're at consciously and awareness, like a radio dial, up
Mhm.
and down the dial. You're fucking static when you're not on the right tune. You move up and down the frequency, and they either are completely in tune with the main frequency, the hot station on the radio, the majority, and it sounds good, and then everything else is just like either static or it doesn't transfer with them, or you're on another fucking dial, and so people are able to be. It's hard to convince certain people, a lot of people. That's a big.
Stop, stop. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyhow, but it's hard to convince their ways need to be changed at this point. We're becoming less and less tolerant of listening, and we're becoming more and more in tune with our one frequency that we're on. You feel me? So I'd like to just think of it like once you get a certain perspective, maybe you move to a different. Instead of being on the one where the ship of fools, you're on 101 point fucking 69 fucking fucked. You uh
169 point.
Yeah, 106 point.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, that really tickled me.
Yeah, that was good, but you're on a different frequency after a different perspective, and so you see things differently, and everything that you saw before when you were on this other channel sounds, looks, feels completely different, and that's where you're tuned. You know, people are tuned with different frequencies. So I was just building off that idea of a wavelength, that whole concept to me. Think of it like a fucking radio dial. Move up and down the fucking dial. You hear static on shit that doesn't sound right to you, and then you find the one that fits in your ideas, and then once you get a new perspective, come out on a different dial, you know, so to speak.
True. I think overall though, there is that one hot station that and so I have always considered myself an empath, whereas like I can feel other people's feelings.
Oh, you
I feel
don't?
like I'm
Yeah.
always on the same wavelength as somebody else, regardless of whatever is going on in my life.
I feel your trauma.
So
That's exactly what I know.
trauma.
I know what it's like, dude. I'm the same way. Unfortunately, it's like a
No,
sensitivity thing.
when I was in nursing school, dude, I could sense when someone was about to die. Does that make sense?
You felt it.
I would be in my clinical and I was like, this person won't be here tomorrow. And like, I would, there was an, okay, this is kind of going off topic, but
This is on topic. Thank you. You're perfect.
there was this sweet 93-year-old that I was taking care of, and she was so fucking cool, so cool. We sat there and we chilled, and you know, I had other rooms I had to tend to. I was running around the hospital, but every free second that I had, even my lunch break, I went and sat and chatted with this person because I was like, they're not going to be here tomorrow. And lo and behold, I was right. Um, Not because I saw her labs and shit, and it was like it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't trending good in any way, shape, or form. But I was like, you know, the last thing this person needs is to spend the last day on Earth, not being, you know, just chatting with somebody. I
Oh,
think
alone, you know.
yeah, I think we talked about fears earlier. And I think that would be like my only fear is to know that tomorrow I will not be here and no one fucking cares today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I wanted to bring that up again for ecstasy, because I want to ask him about fear and how to overcome this shit and what would be your fears in life. So, and Jared, what you just said like made perfect sense. I mean, that's a glad you came up with something, dude. Because you're telling me you had no fears, nothing. You fear nothing, and
Yeah, yeah.
built out of steel, and very easy thing to say, but now I could put you in certain life or death situations, and I think you would come up with fear. But
Other fears, yeah.
uh, when you talk about day to day life, you know, that's what I want to get down to, because it's just like you're one of everyone else. What is the idea? What have you had to overcome? If you don't think about it as fear so much, what was something that intimidated you? You tell me you just never went through anything?
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's plenty of things. But
Ecstasy? You need to chime in, dude.
All right, let's
The
ask
the
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 question.
rapper the rapper out here, follow him. Um, Ecstasy World. There's no O. Alright,
WRLD, just like Juice.
here you go. Yeah, he's hip. No, but the question would just be your perspective on overcoming either the obstacles in your life, or how do you adapt or change when it comes to something that might frighten you, or talking about fear inevitably. Put it simply. What would scare you? What scares you?
Off the top of my head, there's not very many things personally, I have a feeling that I could look death in the eyes and be okay with the outcome. I've been down a dark road. So personally, I don't fear death, but I know there's a few other things that I fear. I don't like letting people down. Um, Losing respect for people, like other people, like losing respect from people. Um,
So you want to feel equally.
yeah. Uh, Fears, dude. That's like a
Fears.
hard question because
That's why
off
it
the
gets you
top of my head,
thinking.
most people want to be stone cold, stone hard.
Macho about it, like
Yeah,
nothing's gonna phase me. Like, no, I'm not really afraid of anything. Like, I'll take on whatever life is given to me, and I'll persevere. And that's the answer. That, but I was telling Jared earlier, like you have to. I think we're wired with some sort of fear, although it's man-made. We're born with this, adrenaline instinct. This, you can call it fear, you can call it whatever, but this idea of like you need to defend this fight or flight, right?
yeah,
And so whether or not you want to call that fear or whatever, but I'm just trying to bring it down to more like a human day-to-day level, like bring it into your own perspective. You've been afraid to try something, or have you always just been, if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it? Or have you had to been in a situation where, like, let's say you just gotta do something and you just,
just do it. Yeah.
but
Oh,
everything in you's like, nah.
yeah. There's a few situations like that. To be honest with you, I do deal with anxiety, and to keep it 100% with you, you put me in a room with like 100 people that I don't know, I will lose my shit. I'll start shaking, and I'll start being like, and it's not because I'm afraid of anybody in the room. It's simply because I just feel boxed in. I feel trapped in a room with that many people. So, like I was saying earlier, I'm not afraid to face death, but then again, there's always situations where you might be afraid. Like, I could say you put a gun to my head and I would look you dead in your eyes and not care. But when that situation actually happens, what will I actually do?
You're gonna care.
Yeah, I'm gonna care, as much as my heart lets me. Now, if I'm down bad and in my feels and in my depression,
Yeah.
fuck, I might not give a fuck. But
You might give a
someone
fuck
who,
then, dude.
yeah, I mean, put it like this: I've attempted suicide multiple times, and at the end of the day, I'm always too pussy to do it. So, okay, what I'm trying to say is people are afraid of something. Whether you want to say it's nothing or you can't think of anything, you're afraid of something. And to overcome your fears, you have to learn to become numb to that fear. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's a valid point, but that's how I
It
feel.
is because I want to. This is touchy because you're admitting, and I like. I'm glad you're open and honest about that because a lot of people view the idea of you taking your own life or attempting to as you running away and being a coward, right?
Yep, many people will say that. Yeah.
So fear, right? And that's not in my eyes, not really, not that black and white to me. So
Yeah.
I have sympathy for those that get to that point.
Yeah, for sure.
But to ask about fear, were you what was it? Think that just letting your mind get too much in your feels, just getting too much in the feel, to put a there's a lot of shit that everyone goes through, but like,
Yeah.
are you running from something, or is that just you want to run away from life? That's a deep. I know this is deep. You want to run away from life inevitably, so that would
Yeah.
be a fear. You have a fear of living this life.
Yeah, pretty much. I believe that if you're suicidal, you've gone through some shit, and
Yeah.
most people don't want to deal with that shit. When I was in my lowest points, I didn't want to deal with the shit that I was going
No.
through. So I said, what's my best option? And
fucking
most
yeah.
people will go to fucking death right away because fuck this shit. Like why go through daily life knowing you're gonna get betrayed, knowing someone's gonna fuck you or someone's gonna stab you in your back. You make a plan and it goes good, something gets fucked. Like,
Negative, 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 and all you see is pain.
yep. So in someone's eyes like that,
You can
it
get to a
makes
place.
you so.
Don't feel alone. You're not alone in that idea of it. I mean, becomes reality. You become drowning in a cloud. But um, so, damn, am I gonna give you?
Oh, this could lead into the next question that I had asked you. This topic.
Yeah, go for it. Spit it out.
All right,
Uh,
Poseidon, are you ready for this topic?
Before
This is the question.
Yeah, let him speak. This man has been sitting over here, fucking.
Bro's
Bef-
silent.
before we go into that, something that Ecstasy said rings true with me, but on a different level. It almost feels like, whenever you're going through those crises, that no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? They brush
Yeah.
it off. They're like, dude, you don't need to feel that way. Okay, fuck yeah. Oh, damn,
Oh
you're
shit.
so right. I'm fucking healed. You're so right. I don't need to feel that way. Fucking done. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, that's been the hardest thing that I've had to realize is truly no one really gives a shit. Like as much as I love that my friends put in the effort, Buddha being main one, I can't tell you how many times this guy has talked me off the ledge. Like, I mean, I've sat there numerous days and I was like, yeah, my family, they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll totally miss you if you die." Yeah, no. You won't fucking miss a thing. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway,
No,
I
not
got a little
anywhere.
dark with that, but
This is
We
supposed.
could
This
get
is
really
supposed to
dark.
be your any last words, bro. Come on.
but yeah, that's truly how I feel. Is like anytime that I've ever attempted or hospitalized myself or whatever, whenever I got out, literally nobody was there. And I was like, well, I guess they never fucking cared from the first place.
I have experience to go on what you just said. And Poseidon's kind of right here. I mean, I feel like you're right to an extent. You know, people care when they want to care is what I feel like you're trying to say.
When it's
And
convenient, yeah.
yeah, when it's most convenient for them. And because
Except
going
for
through,
Buddha, he cares all the time, by the way.
yeah, there's people that are like Buddha or yourself or people like me who will always care no matter what you put them through.
There ain't a lot of them.
There's not a lot. Yeah,
There's
there's
not.
No,
not.
there isn't.
So I mean, those are the people who I surround myself around. So when I was going through shit like that, I had the right people around. But also, like a month ago, I got put into a hospital for my mental state, and I get out, and there's only I was talking to like three people that entire time I was locked in that room because they let me keep my PC because I don't have a phone. So,
Gotcha.
but I was talking to my girlfriend and I was talking to two other friends, and the entire time they were there for me, talking to me and making sure that I was okay. But what I was saying was when it comes to family, how you were saying family really care if you died or some shit. I've been ever since I got out of the hospital like a month ago, I've been couch surfing. Not a single time has anybody in my family hit me up. So I got out of that hospital. No one made sure that I was okay. That was in my family. No one hit me up.
You're
You know,
fucked up.
and it's been a month. And I just talked to my mother and my brother yesterday, and they didn't even ask me if I was okay because I went over to pick up some of my stuff. So I think when it comes to family's some like one of the hardest things to be a part of. Friendships is way easier than family when it comes to caring.
I think
Absolutely. In my opinion. Yeah.
I get more out of my friends that I don't even know in person than I do than the people I know in real life.
yeah, I get
That I've
looked at.
grown up with.
I
Yeah.
get looked
Yeah,
at weird by my family if I tell people I have some fucking friends online. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
talk
same.
to
Yeah.
people like you guys every day way more than my best friends. I mean, my best real life friends, right? I grew up
Yeah.
with my whole life. I don't get to see them that much. I don't talk to them that much, bro. Now I'm sitting here and I get to, I mean, guaranteed, I've met hundreds and hundreds of people, and there's a lot of rotten eggs. But you find these gems, and it's just like, these are good fucking friendships, and they end up feeling real. I get to know these people, not just
Yeah.
so. That's a good connection. I'll just start it on here.
Anyway, let's move on to that next question that I've been anxious to hear.
Spit it.
Oh, it's a great question.
Ecstasy's question.
The question that we all been waiting for. The question is, the depth of my consciousness causes me to suffer. Is that a blessing
Oof.
or a curse to feel everything so deeply?
I didn't go.
I mean, you're hitting.
Do you want me to start spitting?
I mean,
Because
I'll
I
go.
can
I'll
rattle
go.
shit, but yeah, go.
No. You've hit the deepest of the deep. Like, so one of my favorite things about my best friends, literally maybe like two people that I've ever truly been like, I will give you whatever, is deep conversation. We have talked about shit beyond this fucking universe, shit beyond the fucking soul. And we're like, oh, something that okay, how to explain this? So empathy. I'm a major empath. Like I said earlier, I can fucking feel everything everybody feels beside me. Does
Yep,
that feel like a curse? Yeah. Oh fucking yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm an empath as well, so I understand.
Bro, I'm about to fucking cry. Anyway,
What do you know? 3 empaths in one chat doing a podcast.
you know what? That's crazy. But to sit there and know exactly how somebody's feeling and glance that over, because you can't sit there in a public setting and be like, yo, are you okay? Do we need to
Yeah,
talk? I know you don't know me. I know you just met me in the grocery line, but do we need to talk? Are you good?
No, get the fuck
And
away from me. That's what it was.
and it is so hard to carry that, to sit there and
No,
know that that person really just needs somebody and not be able to be that person. Does that make sense? Because you're some random fucker in the fucking grocery line. Like, you
for
give your best, you say, hey,
yeah,
my name's Jared. Nice to meet you. Cool. Hey, I see that you're grabbing pineapples. Do you like pineapples? I'm making small talk with this fucker that doesn't feel like life is worth living. And it's like, how do I
how do you know
even
how do you know that? How do you
bro, you
know?
can feel it.
bro.
You can
You
feel
ever
it.
look someone in their eyes and just know that
I was
part
getting
of being an
yeah,
That they're fucking
I
drained.
was getting
And
to
they're like,
the fact that it's like a mirror of something, like because you can a lot of these
yeah,
feelings are
because you've
something
been
that
there.
because you've been there. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like that's
Yeah.
why I just you radiate that, you know,
Yeah.
that energy is
I've been that
absorbed.
fucker in the fucking grocery line grabbing that pineapple. Whatever. Like, and it's
Exactly.
like, how do I even bring that to somebody's attention that, hey, yo, I feel what you're feeling and I'm here for you, even though I'm some random guy you've never met ever. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I feel like it's definitely a curse, but it's definitely a blessing in the right situations. Does that make sense?
yeah.
It's
Like
supposed to be a curse to be a
I've
blessing.
I've been
I
sitting
know.
there numerous times and I was like, okay, I need to fucking call this guy. And I called him and they're like, yo, dude, it's been the roughest day. I'm so glad that we got to talk.
Yeah, there's times that I've just randomly called a friend because I feel like something's off, and you hit them up, and they're like, "Yo, I'm better now."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I not really connecting to what you were saying, as in just looking at a random person and feeling how they feel. I feel it more towards the people that I have a connection with already. I
That's
mean,
where me and you. That's where I was connecting with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can
So
I can feel it with random people. It's weird.
Well, I get it
but
with randoms,
it's
but
harder for me to get it with a random person because I don't know
trust.
you.
I don't trust.
You
Much as
trust, but you
em,
don't know their mental like thought. You don't know what they're thinking.
you get
I've
the
been able to look
patterns,
friends in
yeah.
the eyes and just like straight up. I
No,
like, for example, I have this one friend that I didn't know shit about the day I talked to them, and I told them their whole life story, and they cried just because I could guess what the fuck they went through,
Yeah.
and I was pitch perfect to the point, every little detail, and they cried because of that. They're like, how do you know this? You don't know me. You we just talked. And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel that you went through something like this. I mean, yes, I was slightly off on some details, but like, for example, I was like, 2 years ago, did you get into a situation of rape? And they said, yeah, around that time. It's being an empath.
if they
That's
give
how
you anything, I mean, it doesn't have to be much. You feed
I
off
can.
of
You give me
that.
one little line.
Sometimes you just think that's like that voice in your head fucking chattering too much, like fucking commentating and trying to predict
Yeah.
everything that someone else is thinking or saying. It's like, well, maybe just step the fuck back. You don't really, maybe you don't know, buddy, but
But you do.
there's something in you that's like,
But you do.
it can drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, it's talking about going nuts. And while we're on the topic of like talking about how like your own consciousness can destroy your mental state or whatever, right? For someone who thinks so much could also think so little
Yeah.
if they wanted to. I think about every little thing in extreme detail. Buddha, you could sit here and say something about me, kind of trying to be a joke about it or be like something offensive, right? But you're jokingly saying it. I would take that into process and pick every little detail that you just said and why you said it
Yeah.
and like what you
What
were thinking.
perspective, what set of eyes were you fucking looking through when you said that? Were you,
Yeah.
you know?
Did you mean it or was it just
Yeah.
something to fuck around? Or were you saying it to fuck around but you actually meant it, you know?
Are you just being sensitive though? Like that's when you have
And
to
that's where it's
also
a
check.
fucking curse.
You have to check yourself. Like, dude, can you just like maybe just let it go? But also at some points you have to stand up. For you know, and you also have to know what a person's intention is when they're speaking to you.
Yeah,
It's,
100%.
I mean, sometimes it's too late. And with my family, dude, if the mood is not right, I can tell when my parents are have fucking anxiety because I just feel the tension. You know, I can be doing nothing, nothing's chilling, playing a game. And was like what was like growing up, and I would feel tension. What was
Yeah, you
going
would
on
want to
around me? I don't even have to be in the fucking room, dude. I just I can tell when they come home. That's you know, that's where it's like fuck. God, I'm glad I'm in tune, but it's a little bit much. Reeling in your
it can
thoughts.
It it
yeah.
gets magnified, and this is from recent experience. It's magnified after you're out of a narcissistic relationship too. So like
I could see
my
that.
ex was do what?
No, I could see that. That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
She was narcissistic, and so like being empathic already, you're already trying to like people please and so on and so forth. But after that whole relationship, I am so in tune whenever somebody's mood changes. Like it doesn't matter what the situation is. If someone sits down wrong, then I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Like,
Yeah,
is that me? Did I do
yeah.
that? But
I'm the same way.
yeah, so it's mind blowing, you know, what our relationships do to us. in general. But anyway,
The
No,
friendships,
it's
girlfriends, boyfriends, like, dude, people like, I don't know. I dated someone like a couple years ago, and they were narcissistic as well, and that kind of low key just like fucked relationships in general for me because it made it super hard to trust everybody and everything that they were saying. You know, when someone says they love you, you tend to believe it until they give you a reason not to believe it.
yeah.
But now that I've been fucked with for majority of my life, when people say certain things, I have to like pick out things and see if they genuinely mean it. You know, I don't just go around believing
That's
motherfuckers.
where you start over analyzing. Like, yeah, man, I'm lucky to have met like this many people on online like this because I got to a point, dude. I was like, fuck
everyone.
everybody. I don't really trust you, which wasn't a healthy thing for me to do to just shut out humanity. So, there's hope out there. I've obviously been able to
God
find
bless.
that. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the point is, you can get to a point where you're in your head, you just rather just be in this shell, bro. Like, fuck you, fuck you. I'd rather just be prepared for battle, you know. And then you go into this self defense where nothing that you do is gonna result in you being happier. You're gonna be alone. You're gonna be alone, dude. So you have to open up with.
Facts, bro. Facts.
But then you end up, you can trick yourself into thinking maybe I'm better off being alone, dude. All these people hurt me, you know.
Do you do you mean that though? Is it a trick, or is it reality?
Humans have kind of proved the fact that we need to be connected in some way. If you were alone, you would kill yourself or die.
Okay, but I'm not alone. I have you guys
Exactly.
in reality.
We need that, and there's a
Like
reason for.
I don't have to go out there and find a girlfriend like right now, right? Like
Oh,
that's what I'm
No,
saying. Like
you want to talk about that, dude? That's Jesus.
I mean, we already talked about that, like the Tinder and stuff like that. No, I've deleted all fucking dating apps and everything like that. Like if something genuine wants to come along, fine. But most of the time, I'm here in this room with this beautiful painting done by one of my best friends, and I'm just gonna be chilling. Am I gonna find somebody that way? Probably not.
I
But
think I think you like getting out and about a little bit too much, Jared. So for you to be saying this, I love it. It's a good step forward. I just,
let's bring it back.
all right, good. Now
Anyway,
we're gonna dive into
so
deeper questions, dude, because we can talk about your sex life, dude. How you need to stop going out there and banging all those chicks. All right,
you're
it's
right.
not giving you happiness. I'm glad you're
Done
getting it
fucking.
done, but I mean that will
So,
not do it.
so does my level of consciousness in this world, is it a curse or a blessing? Both.
Bad answer. It wasn't written. There was just A and B.
I would say more of a curse. No, no, it's more of a blessing than a curse. It hurts me, but it helps others, if that makes sense. And I will take that any day over anything else.
you know what I have to say about that, Poseidon?
So,
And this might hit kind of deep for you from hearing the way that you've been given opinions and everything. Uh, you take this as you may, Buddha and Poseidon.
don't make me cry,
My
bro.
it might.
Jeez.
So my opinion on the depth of consciousness, right? The only way through is for you to take more of the thing that poisons you until it turns into a tunic that girdles the world around you.
Yeah, use the fucking pain through your life as a vessel in order to transform your life to find out what you really need. And
That's
use.
what pain is given to us for. It's to teach us a lesson. Pain is a lesson meant for us to take as we may and learn or grow or turn into something that we won't want to be.
Right up my alley, dude. So Buddhism, right? We believe that suffering is inevitable. Everyone, suffering is a part of life. You need that foundation. There is yin yang symbol. It's the contrast. You have good, you have a bad. Need you can't have one without one action or the displeasure of the experience. That's what
Yep.
creates this game of life. So you need pain. You need to embrace pain. So one of the biggest things that I try to tell people, and it's hard to fucking do, but when something is comes up that's traumatic, you feel like you don't have control, accept the fact that you can't change it, you know? Or accept this. If you can do something, you need to act on it. But becoming okay with the fact that you're going to make it through. Sometimes life's going to hit you with these fucking curveballs. You can't just fucking. You're going to have to accept the suffering. The less you resist, the more you'll resist through life.
I think that you have to kind of resist to an extent, though, because resisting is what builds your strength, mentally and physically.
Resisting is a different term. And what you're saying makes sense. But I'm using resistance as like in a negative connotation, as in like you want nothing to do with a situation and you hate the fact that you're dealing with this shit. And you need that resistance, but you need to accept it. Don't decline it, right? Or else you just build. So that's where I was really getting at. You got to accept that.
What you're saying is that when you're going through hardships in life, you have to accept that it's going to be hard for a little bit before it gets better. Is what you're trying to say. I feel like. I don't know what you think, Jared.
Yeah, Mr. Geraldo.
Jeez. Put me on the spot.
You are on.
Yeah, we're like some teachers. We noticed that you were distracted.
Yeah, you didn't need your hand raised for this shit.
But for real, it's I think it's more than just receiving pain to find experience. I think in general, because I mean, I know plenty of people who have gone through life with minimal pain compared to what I have. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are in worse states.
That's a curse to them. For them.
Yeah.
They might not realize it.
You can't like degrade someone's issue, you know?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is basically just because it seems like it's a smaller issue doesn't mean that it is.
Right. Right. And especially not to them if they if it's the worst thing that's ever happened to them.
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen it tear whole families apart.
Yeah.
Like, not even just that person. Like, and they have been through, maybe a fraction of what I've been through whenever it comes to, living life. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, and I'm still out there making other people's lives better. I'm still, raising my kids to know, what a good dad should be and so on and so forth. But on the flip side of that, am I stronger for the things that I've gone through? Not necessarily. I feel like, some of the things have really taken a kick to the nuts and got me on the floor. There's nothing that I can say that I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. I came across this hurdle and I jumped it. I may have clipped it with my foot, but I fucking got over it. Nah, half of this shit, I ran straight into that fucking hurdle and rolled on the ground, and then sat
But
there
you
and
got
hurt my knee.
the fuck back up. Eventually.
Majority.
You're here.
I'm still not perfect though, Buddha.
You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be fucking trying to hop over the fucking hurdles. At least get over the fucking hurdle, dude.
I mean, I'm still not over a lot of hurdles though. Like,
You're not going to
so
be.
This is like the
Life.
perfect point in my life where I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, Am I doing the best that I possibly can? No. No, I'm not. There's a lot better that I could be doing.
Good that you can evaluate yourself like that. I mean,
Right.
that's a good first step. At least admit that.
Humility.
You need
Humility.
to.
It's
Yeah.
important.
You'll never take
Um,
a step forward if you just sit there and think everything's perfect.
yeah, exactly. But am I doing the best that I can with the situation that I have in the grand scheme of things? Yeah. Honestly, I'm doing fucking good. But is it enough? No. No, it's not
You're
enough.
leaving something in the tank, bro. Like you're not doing yourself the full justice, right? Is that what you feel like?
Right.
You could be more optimal, whatever. I think that's what drives human nature, though. I mean, I don't know what ecstasy thinks about that, but I mean, you gotta have this innate drive in you
Yeah.
constantly, and that
100%.
self criticism. That's kind of it can be unhealthy at many cases, but you need to have some sort of evaluation in your mind in order to create growth.
Well, yeah. If you can't, but yeah, I agree 100%.
Especially for like music in your case.
Yeah.
If you can't reflect on what you're doing and observe and see either the growth progression or, you know, listen with open ears, you're not going to progress in your craft. You
100%.
you have to have some sort of criticism. And it's not doubt, it's just and it doesn't have to be negative necessarily. But yeah,
Not all
constructs
criticism. There we
constructive.
go. Yeah, constructive criticism. I can't speak.
And
Criticism.
constructive criticism.
This is my daily struggles of having ADHD. Mind moves too fast to get my words out before I can speak
I
them.
feel that,
I'm
bro.
so serious. Like
Just
talking to
rap
you
it
guys
out,
right
dude.
now.
Just start spitting.
I'm gonna have to, like, on God. I can't even speak. I have to start fucking rapping, bro. Maybe that's my only fucking language.
But yeah, no.
That's a good language, man.
Go
There's a lot of
on.
people that speak it.
What were you saying? Now his ADHD mind like where the fuck was
Oh yeah. So what the fuck was I talking about? Type shit, dude. Fucking. Okay, so having ADHD and the way that I have it, my thoughts are so fast that talking to you guys, I have my sentence picked out before I even say it. So making music is very difficult for me, and speaking is very difficult sometimes because the words come out before I can say them, if that makes sense. So having a mind that's always racing is so difficult, bro. Like you go through
Who
your
did
daily life just like weighing out your options on everything.
you're on ADHD medication, right?
Does that shit work for you?
big enough of it?
You taking half of it.
I just stopped taking medications as a whole
I, I,
because of the way it makes me
I
feel.
don't recommend anyone taking amphetamines. Truthfully, if you don't need to and you can avoid them, they do help. Yes, causes a little bit of a dependency, and it can get bad. It can get real bad. I mean, you can feels fucking whoop de doo, dude. Like you can get this fucking high off of them, but no. So what I've noticed is that it does make me more alert, stay on task and shit. And my phone is gonna die. So now ecstasy gets to be the star of the show.
Actually, uh, braids didn't stem from African American culture. The first people to do
Mm.
braids were Vikings, and I believe that's nomadic, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah.
So isn't that in like Iceland or some shit, right? So
Yeah.
Norway, Iceland, yeah.
Norway, yeah. So it's a Norwegian thing, right? So why are people getting offended when something that isn't strictly towards their culture is shared around?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I think a whole part of that hating on something's culture, and let me finish. This is gonna be a little bit lengthy. I think that's a part of American culture. I know I just came out of nowhere, but I do have a
Welcome.
response for that, right? So I think that I've been to other countries, right?
Yeah.
I've never experienced such like division, such as people just not being there for their neighbor or just carelessness. Like if you see a kid get kidnapped or something on the street, in America, people, oh, what the fuck just happened? Pull out our phones. In another country, people are gonna actually, they're gonna do something about that type shit. And
Yeah.
I think all that kind of goes back to American history. We have a lot
Yeah.
of hate, we have a lot of division, we have a lot of, I'm not gonna say racism in particular, but we have a lot of, what's the word? Somethingocracy. We have a lot of just a lot of division. Like, there's people
Yeah.
on that side we don't like. There's people that support this. There's people that support that. And
Yeah.
part of that is part of our history. It's part of
Segregation.
politics. It all kind of comes into one. But I feel like that's why in America you deal with that kind of stuff, or more so that's an American mentality. You know, in other countries, I've met nothing but nice and sweet people,
Oh
and
yeah,
then I come back to
100%.
my hometown and it's like people hate each other.
Oh yeah, for I've been to Mexico a few times, and people down there are so nice, so loving.
They'll
Everybody's from
bring you
out.
inside their house and cook dinner for you.
On God, they'll
They'll
just
get to know
say,
you.
"You're hungry? I got you." And then here, it's like you
Never.
knock on someone's door and they're like, "What the? Get the fuck off my yard!" type shit. Like, people
It's
are so
it's
hostile.
it's all about the history, the policies, the politics, and everything. Think about homelessness, right? They make policies literally specifically for homeless people in America. You know,
100%.
I know that's unrelated, but in other countries, they don't do stuff like that. There's a lot of small stuff that contributes to like why people want to fight so much in America. We've been divided. Look at our politics. Look at what people are voting for. Look at what they're pushing in our face. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. I don't blame people because it's a brainwashing in a sense. But on the other hand, I don't know. People need to open their eyes. Like once I started traveling, I started to realize people are the world's not that bad. Started to realize America is just kind of dookie. Policies, our laws,
Facts.
our history, the way our citizens are being treated, the way they treat each other. So I think that's part of the reason why we're always arguing and shit.
It's all America's
The media is
shit.
always,
Right. Okay.
yes, that's what we do.
That's what I'm getting.
Moral of the story: United States is shit. Don't come here, guys. You get here and everything turns worse.
Listen, it was bad before when I was growing up, and was not bad enough for me to realize it. Now it's gotten bad to the point where it's like it's in plain sight. Politicians are failing us. Our lawmakers are failing us. Who else? Going out there? We're going downhill.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had to at some point, and it's kind of inevitable.
Every empire has to fall at some point.
Every great empire has done it. That's what I was gonna say.
We're pretty lucky to be as shitty as things are, be in the time that we're in.
Oh yeah.
My thing is though, I don't think there's ever been a place in history like this. Like every revolution or every time something like this happens in history, it's kind of unexpected. I think we're reaching that point right now. Like I'm even starting to see posts on my Instagram, my Twitter, like people just jokingly saying, "When are we gonna get these guns and start, you know, not only voting for what we want, but saying what we want verbally?" Because there's a lot of laws stuff that are being passed today in each state, especially in New York. I'll use New York as a perfect example because people in New York hate living in New York because of the laws and the shit that they pass over there.
On God.
So it's like one of these days, those people are gonna say, "Well, we live here, we live on these streets, we pay these bills. Let's do something about it." I
Hmm.
don't know where you guys live at, but in the United Kingdom, I think it's in Germany and Spain right now. They've been protesting for like the last 6 to 5 months because of gas bills, CO emissions bills, and stuff. They've been literally protesting for the last month and a half.
Oh my God, brother. speaking on what you're saying here, I saw this video on YouTube. This guy had purchased groceries in Russia, and over here we spend like $100 and kind of just don't get shit out of it, right?
Yeah. And a lot
Fucking
of our food is like, I don't want to say poison, but it's bad for us.
oh god, it really is if you look at all that ingredients and shit. But
Yeah.
this dude spent $400 in Russia, which translated to $100. So people were being robbed of their money over there
And they're being
to
poisoned. And then we
and
have to
poison.
pay to unpoison. My
Yeah.
father has diabetes. I know a lot of people that have diabetes and stuff like that. A lot of that comes from the sugars that we put in a lot of our foods and our candies and stuff that we eat, the Capri Suns and all that shit. It's a whole
Them
clusterfuck.
Capri
It's a cluster.
Suns,
It's
brother.
a clusterfuck. You feel me?
Hey, that's a good chaser. Right
We
there.
love it. We
Yeah.
love it. But when we really
Oh
look at it,
god.
it's just all bad stuff that's going on. Our food is bad. Our law is bad. It's like everything's bad right now. So you asked that question about the braids. I just thought about everything and why people are just so uptight today. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
We can't
Oh,
afford nothing, bro.
One of
you can't.
one of the coolest things I got to experience was living in Japan for 4 years.
That I went to dude. Go ahead. I also went to Japan. That was the best.
Um,
Yes.
and like he said, a kid gets kidnapped here. People will pull out phones and whatnot and call the police, whatever. That's about
Over
the
there,
bare
everyone is your
minimum.
neighbor. No matter where
Uh,
you're from, what you look like, what color you are, you're their neighbor. They
yeah,
care about you.
there was fucking 5-year-olds riding the train by themselves for an
Yes.
hour to go to
Uh-huh.
kindergarten. Like,
Huh.
it's wild, dude. It's wild. Everybody takes care of, especially the little ones. But they all take care of each other. Literally, whenever I went to Mount Fuji, I got lost, and I was like, all right. I was at the base of Mount Fuji. Asked the guy, hey, where do I need to go? And he was like, oh, let me show you. We walked literally a mile and a half. Dude went a mile and a half out of his way, at
Just to make sure you're
least
good.
30 minutes to an hour out of his way to make sure I was where I needed to be. And I was like, man, I don't know if it was because I learned a little Japanese, and so he appreciated that I was trying to appreciate his culture as much as, whatever.
Maybe
But
he had a good soul, dude. You know?
When you go over there,
yeah,
they're like
yeah,
it's almost like
exactly.
you've been invited into their house. So like
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you're there, they don't want you to think bad about them. They want to make
right.
sure you're good. They want to make sure you get home safe. They want you to go home and tell your family, hey, I met these awesome people over here.
What
So
do you think they're like programmed like that? Like we don't.
no, I think it's built into their culture. One thing I
No,
was
they're
gonna
just
say, a
yeah.
lot of the hate and stuff that we see that we just think that's the way the world is. People are just mean. That's American. That
And
stuff
and
only
it's
happens in
and it's
America.
fake. It's fake. We have I don't want to say we have you know embraced how bad things are good, but
No, you're exactly that sentence sums it up perfectly. We
yeah,
embrace how good we make the bad. Like
And
yeah, it's
people are
exactly it.
starting to realize, like, I hate to use the term brainwash because it's a strong term, but people are starting to
no,
realize, like,
that's
they've
accurate.
been partially manipulated and partly brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? Think about politics in the last 10 years. We had Democrats and Republicans. One time, the Republicans are like, all right, we support these people. And the Democrats are like, all right, we support these people. And then the next year, the Republicans, they support somebody else. And then the Democrats support somebody else. Then the Democrats support the gay rights people. And the Republicans support abortions. They're just dividing people every single election, in my eyes. Now you have two groups of people that hate each other simply because they're two different political groups. And that has been happening over the last 10 years. Now we just have this environment where everybody has a differences. Oh, you support this. Oh, you support that. Oh,
Yeah,
you're canceled. I don't like that. Oh, you're a vegan. Oh, you're a this. It's just
Bro,
everybody's
division.
fighting.
people treat this shit like it's a fucking gang or some shit. Like people out here like, yo, you're a Republican, that must be in your fucking blood, and I'm a Crip. Like people treat that shit as like
Right,
that shit for
But
real.
exactly.
that's American culture. That has become American culture over the last 10 to 15 years. With
So
all the social media, everybody has a phone.
yeah, for
And it's all because we
decades.
all think different.
For
been
decades
in
now,
mind.
other countries look at us and they see that they don't really have to do too much of like the conflict with as far as war type shit. And not only would they want to, but also they just see a collapse in our own system over the couple of centuries that this has been established. They just see that division within itself is just going to collapse. Like we will damage ourselves way more. It might take a little bit longer, but we'll kill ourselves before they have to even fucking shoot a gun at us.
To put it,
China's already realized that.
yeah, bro.
Damn straight.
Think about all the movies that people are starting to release now. You know, just being like just slightly hinting at, you know, shit could get real scary.
Shit's gonna
But
get iffy,
don't
bro.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just a movie.
Just ignore it. Just look at your
In
phone.
reality,
Look at another TikTok, bro. Just fucking look at another TikTok, would you? The fucking aliens are above us.
no one even talks about aliens anymore, which is weird. I'm getting ready to head to work now.
Oh, all them. What? All right, man. Well, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Genders. There are two.
Yeah.
Are there more?
I mean, there's
Uh,
more, but usually they have the parents decide.
What do you mean? What do you mean by there's more?
Hermaphrodites. Yeah.
How many are there? There's just hermaphrodites and male.
1%? Less than 1% of a population.
No, I'm just saying how many different genders are there? If I were to, are there two genders?
Yeah, unless they don't decide and they are born with both parts. Yeah.
Well, my daughter actually feels like she isn't a she and doesn't really want to be a he either. And her school is telling her that she can be an it or whatever they
Binary.
want. And they are really accepting. And so you're offending me by telling me there are only two genders. Oh, God. There's people like this out in the real world. You don't understand, dude? It's not a big. Yes.
It's the craziest thing. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but California passed a law,
I know what you're going to say.
sanctuary bill, where if you have a kid and they run away to California because they want to have their gender changed,
Yeah.
you lose custody of the fucker until they go through the process.
They're literally like
It
fucking.
doesn't matter if you live in the state. Like, I could have one of my kids run away to California and I cannot go get them.
Yeah, sorry, you two, but California is run by China. Anyhow, it's a fact. Get over it.
And yeah, if that ever fucking happens, I'm killing somebody. Can I
Clip.
say that on YouTube?
We'll clip that.
Okay.
We don't clip around here when it comes to.
Work on that.
Yeah, my ass fucking diving through fucking 2.5, 3 hours of footage. Come back for that. We let it slide.
Yeah. But
Oh.
yeah, no, it's absolutely absurd. Just how much things have changed.
But ecstasy, do you think two genders?
So my opinion on that, yeah, there's two genders. I don't really believe in there being more than one. I think that if someone wants to identify themselves as otherwise, that's fine. That's cool. I don't really care. You do you, is how I view it. But at the end of the day, you have a penis or you got a vagina. And if you have a vagina and you want to be a male, go ahead.
Now we're getting touchy.
Be a girl, go for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna walk up to you and be like, "What's your pronouns?" Because that's not what society was a topic starter built with. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not just something that you
Right.
go to straight. straight ahead. And so if you want to go and get offended because I thought that you were female and you want to identify as something else, or you want to the same thing for males, go for it. You do you. But I'm not gonna stop you from identifying as something else.
I actually just made friends with a chick, and her name is Hunter, and so kind of caught me off guard. And so I'm sitting there snapping this chick, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna straight up ask, are you trans?" And she's like, "No, no." There was a famous soap opera chick named Hunter, and she was
Are
named it.
you trans?
I was
Because
like,
her
yeah,
name.
well, I mean, you never know these days. Like your name was straight up Hunter. My brother's
You,
name is Hunter.
I
Like,
know Hunter is generally a male's name, but it can definitely be before the trans thing became cool and accepted. It has been known for females can be Hunter. It's not common, but still, I could see why you would be skeptical.
and so yeah, no, I just I straight up asked. I wasn't gonna like let it just lie.
Lucky you didn't get a backhand for that shit
Right?
nowadays,
She was
bro.
like, really? I've never been asked that. I was like, well, it's been thought. It's been thought.
It's been thought. I'm not the first.
Well,
But
I mean, people kind of just brush that stuff off. You just like how Alex is a very dude name. There's females out there.
female Alexes, yeah.
And Logan.
There's
whatever.
Chris. My name. I mean,
Yeah, Chris.
yeah. Kristen and Chris.
Jared.
Jared. Okay. Well, then I think something definitely changed. They might. They might have. They might be like Jeanette or something if they were in like the 1920s. The fucking Jeanette. Jan.
I've got a couple friends from the Navy that have changed their gender, and then they like hit me up again after
That's weird though.
after the service, and they're like, "Hey, do you remember me?" I'm like, "No."
Can't say I remember what. You're not
They're
saying.
like, "Oh, you may have known me as Seth, not Sabrina." I was like, "Wait, okay, cool. I mean, you do you, boo. Like, I'm cool with it. Whatever. We were friends back in the day, so I don't see anything changing. We're still fucking friends. You just don't have a dick anymore."
So we all kind of agree on this universally, but then there's just such a not large, but they're very vocal community that is just wants these rights for the LMFAO community, the LMFAO plus, whatever, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm like, what are we fucking doing, dude? But everyone else seems to think we need to just accept it. The progressive state, bro.
Well, I mean, I saw something the other day that I don't really understand. This kind of like made me think a little bit. It was on a YouTube short. So, right? So this dude, he brought up the topic about what we're talking about. And you know how they use LGBTQT, right? Lesbian. If you're a girl and you like another girl, that makes you gay. If you are a guy and you like another guy, that makes you gay. If you're bi and you like a female, we already knew that hold on, I'm saying this wrong. So if you're a girl and you're bi and you like a dude, we already knew that you like a dude, right? But you're gay because you like a female. So why is there three LGB? Three different things that all mean the same thing. Just one of them, the B stands.
Because it's more letters to show how important this is.
Yeah, but like lesbian and gay are the same exact thing, and then bi, you just like.
You ask some people that it's not the same, then they think that it shouldn't be.
Do you mean to tell me there's segregation in LGBTQ?
Yeah, it's almost like.
Maybe.
If you're a girl, you're a lesbian. If you're a guy, you're gay.
We used to call them. No, never mind. Yeah, we can say that on here. Faggots. You can say that. Alright? Just don't say it to them.
I mean,
don't be mean like that. But some.
I got shadow banned on COD for that. But...
Well, maybe.
There's just certain things that you like can be taken to a further extent than what it's meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, like, if the YouTube bot fucking analyzes this, I meant it with no harm, no ill intent, you know?
I've got a bunch of friends over in England, and of course, that's what they call a cigarette. And so
Oh,
they
yeah,
will
smoking a faggot.
yeah, randomly catch themselves saying that, and then on stream, and so far no repercussions. But I mean, you can tell people cringe whenever they say it, and I'm like,
Ah, these silly Americans, dude. Alright. You guys are so burnt up.
I'm not
Yeah.
sober enough. No, no.
I'm
Yeah.
chilling right now.
I'll take
Good.
another shot though. How about that? How about that?
How about that? I mean, last podcast I had, Pel came on, he had a fucking chug of beer right at the beginning. That was the
Oh, yeah.
intro.
Shotgun one. You want me to shotgun one?
Go.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do a
No,
countdown here.
I'm good. I'm good.
Why would you offer something you're not gonna do? You just
Mm.
teased us.
I will throw up. Facts.
If you throw up, dude, I like. No, he did it before, and that I didn't intentionally do it. But now, for the video, dude, if you're willing, like,
Do it for the clips. Do it for the content.
I mean, that would be fucking gnarly, dude.
Nah, I'm good.
Come on.
Budo, didn't we
I
learn
only
in
have,
preschool
I have
that
one beer
per-
left. One beer.
One beer for you to chug. Yeah, well, you gonna get a fucking buzz off that any other way other than chugging?
No, it won't. It won't do anything but add to how I already feel. So.
You shouldn't bring this stuff up, dude. Trying to say
You're
anymore.
so right. So I hadn't shotgunned a beer since like high school, right?
Damn.
And so the other day I was like, man, I really want to feel something tonight, but I want to do it cheap. So I'm going to shotgun one right off the bat. And so I did it. And then I realized that I'm going to use an empty can. I had popped it right here where the opening was up here. So I was going to have to no, it was the opposite way. So like if I was to open it, it was going to pour out this way. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm going to.
So you just choked yourself on a fucking beer because you didn't know how to fucking open it.
Don't know how to fucking shotgun shit.
What?
It was pretty great. Pretty great.
All right. You can.
Get the result that you wanted?
No, you probably spilt half of it everywhere.
No, I didn't. I didn't spill a single fucking drop.
Yikes.
Just call me Frank the Tank.
All right.
Frank the Tank. Frank the. Which doesn't even make sense. I don't even go by Frank.
Switching it up.
Could.
I literally just jumped off of a fucking cliff.
Fuck.
I died.
Well, are you manifesting your reality?
What?
Can a person manifest their own reality?
Absolutely. Yes.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why do you think someone can actually manifest something and make it a real thing through their thoughts and actions? Is that always a guaranteed thing? Or is it part of like the system that was put in place? Is it out of your control? Do you really think that you have the control to manifest something? Or are those thoughts being put in your brain by something else and you're choosing to do that?
You want an artist opinion on this?
Want?
So, manifesting, I think that's real. You can't snap your fingers and make something happen, bibbity bop boop, magic shit, right? But manifesting is what you're doing when you're manifesting is telling yourself that you can do something and then you're going to continue to do that. It's like setting a goal. When you want a goal, you're going to do whatever the fuck you can to reach it. I've been making music for 4 years and I've been telling myself, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Have I made it yet? No, but I keep doing that thing to make sure that I make it. So it's like setting a goal. One day it will happen if I proceed to try to make that happen.
I like that. That was good because I think when it comes to whatever you may be doing, whether it's making music or literally drawing something, and you're trying to create, and you want to create a vision, you want to use that manifestation inside. You have to have some sort of self belief in order to make it. You have to visualize yourself making it happen, knowing that it will happen. And so, in your case, you're able to keep telling yourself do that and push through, because it's always going to be struggles, but there's going to be failures where manifestation and the idea and the belief can only get you so far.
100%.
You don't ever want to be thinking that, but then at the same time, when it does happen, what does that mean about manifestation? You gotta, does it take away the value of it?
It doesn't take away the valuableness of it. It just, I don't know. It just proves that you did it, type shit.
So persevere even if you get knocked down and still manifest.
Yeah, keep on going. It's just like setting a goal. Manifestation, people like to. I've had people where they think manifestation is something that you just snap your fingers and it happens overnight. It's not. It's not like that at all.
No, it's perseverance, consistency.
Yeah.
Jared?
So, for me, looking at it from being pre-religious, if that makes sense. I used to be really religious. Every religion believes in faith of some kind, and manifestation is a part of that. I have seen miracles happen, like whether it was, I had a friend in high school who had cancer, went into his next appointment, cancer was gone, like no fucking trace. How the fuck did that happen?
Luke had a good doctor.
There was the doctor didn't do shit. He hadn't even touched him yet.
I know.
But like, there was 2,000 people that were manifesting that the cancer would go away.
Okay.
So, shit like that makes me sit there and I'm like, okay, I believe that there are laws to the universe regardless of whether you believe in religion or not. I believe that whatever you put out, you receive, period. If good people were manifesting that guy, was healed miraculously, then the universe willed it so. Was it anything of his doing? Fuck no. The guy could have been fucking like, granted, he did change his diet and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, he made changes, but within 6 months, like, cancer doesn't just go away like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, manifestation is definitely a big thing, in my opinion. I know there's a comedian, and he cracked me up the other day. He posted that he was on a walk, and he was like, my wife shared something with me the other day, and it really tickled me. She said that we were only together because she manifested it. and he's like, oh, that's great. It's good to know that I was bewitched by some fucking voodoo fucking. And it's like, oh yeah. Now, would he have noticed her without the manifestation? Yeah, probably. But I do believe that, one, like what Ecstasy said, in order for things to happen, you have to will it so.
Okay.
So you have to make that conscious decision to wake up, make that grind, whatever. But also, I do believe that even without the action, just the thought can make it so. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like people say all the time. It's the thought that counts.
Manifestation is, and thought are coincide with each other. They're one and the same in that way.
Yeah, I think I think the midichlorians, they move in the way that we want them to whenever we want them to. Does that make sense?
I can agree with
Use
that.
the force. And just-
I like that. Summed it up
Let me
beautiful.
grab this bottle.
Huh.
No, I'm not there.
You got it.
Should have just grabbed it with your other hand. Off
You
camera.
didn't manifest it.
No, whoa.
Fucking.
You know what? I'm gonna manifest it to this hand. Manifested.
Oh, yo, you see that shit? Yo. He got witchcraft in his hoe.
Fucking voodoo.
Where's my
Question then?
I have questions. I have a whole
Ask me
fucking
a question.
deck of cards.
I can't hear you.
Why?
Yeah, maybe if you got closer to your mic.
You
Or
gotta
didn't have a
swallow
snowball.
the balls of your mug.
Alright, motherfuckers. Let's see how it is. I'm gonna give
Bro,
you
I'm
a
just trying to
fucking.
do it for the podcast, bro.
I'm gonna shove a
I need the
fucking.
content. You gonna shove what?
Nothing. How's the mic sound?
Oh
Sounds
my god,
fantastic.
it's so quiet now.
Bro, that is so sexy. Say that again, please.
I said, how does the mic sound for $50?
Wind in my pants, bro.
Sure, papi.
Oh my.
You shit on my mic and yet it sounds so fucking good, huh?
The exquisiteness.
I turn up the fucking mic and you're like, ooh, it's good.
Listen, I fucking cum myself right now.
Jesus Christ, guys. You fucking topsy-turvy on me. Is this... This... Nah, I usually keep it
Honestly,
right
bro,
here. I
feel
just
like
turned
this
it on.
sounded really good if it was on mute though. Yeah, dude. Chris,
Yo,
Chris, bro.
don't even do that.
Yo,
Yo,
that shit's fire, bro. Yo.
yo, not me, not me.
Yo.
Ecstasy, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
right here.
100%.
Yeah, right up there.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what's
yeah,
funny?
by the way, this guy streams. Maybe we'll throw this in for the advertisement. So Jay, just look in the camera and say hi. I stream, and you can come follow me on Kick.
Let me put in a plug. All right, Poseidon Wave at Kick. E at the end is a 3. A 3.
Yo.
So I'll be able to like put something so people can read, hopefully, out there. So you'll be good. But you know,
Yeah, catch me.
that was that was a bad. I'm gonna be good at editing by the end of this. I'm gonna be good. Telling you.